Hi folks, welcome back to the excellent, amazing education channel. Today it's about tenant screening. If you're trying to join the wealthy with owning rental property, which may be the most common way for people to become wealthy, is owning some property. If you have property, it's a good idea to hold on to it and turn it into income. And although I don't agree with everything that Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad Poor Dad teaches, but one thing I believe that he makes a very good point, that your own personal home is more of an expense than an asset. But if you can rent out that home and then move into another home, it becomes an asset, not an expense. So it's possible that more wealthy people, more millionaires make money make their wealth from property than any other method. It's possible because just about anybody can own property, but holding on to it, you have to be very good. You got to be a good person, and usually if you have a very high grades or high IQ, chances are you could do well and make money. But just having a good personality and getting along well with others might be all you need, as long as you're not bad with money. Now, as I said, the topic right now is tenant screening. Choosing the right people to live in your property. So if you have a property manager, maybe they can do that for you. If you're not good at these things, it might be the way you need to go. Also, thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. This channel has a lot of ideas of things that would benefit the whole world to have an excellent future. It's going to help you. It'll be the easiest way to have a better planet, more peaceful and less polluted universe. I always say it's not the quality of the visuals, it's not the video, it's more about what I say. So I don't have expensive equipment, I just got my phone, and so you just got to ignore the video. It's about what I'm telling you. Now, to get back to tenant screening, you absolutely have to use, in my opinion, this is not financial advice, by the way, I'm not a financial advisor, it's for educational and entertainment purposes only, but must use the credit agencies like TransUnion or Experian. It's the only way to go to use these to check out your tenants. Even if you have a property manager, you need to see those reports before you make a decision. So your property manager can do all the work, that's fine, but you need to do the final approval. And don't say, like, if somebody's a maybe and you're not sure, then you have to do all of your due diligence. Tell them that, like, you're not really comfortable moving ahead with a yes, but ask them, could you please provide some kind of information that you might need, and it might be like paycheck information or deposits, because you need to make sure of somebody's income. And if you can't verify it through the credit agencies, TransUnion and Experian, and I recommend the Smart Move system, which I believe is through the Experian system. Anyway, it's Smart Move. Google it yourself, and it will tell you about any criminal history, and you need to run it for all of the adults that will live in the house. If it's just a few months, you might not care, but if they're going to be living there for more than, say, 1 or 2 months, then you don't need just one person to check out well with the credit agency and a criminal background check, which they would run for you, you would need all of the adults. And if some person that lives in your house is a child, maybe they're 15 years old, but they become 16, 17, 18, whatever is an adult in your state or wherever they're going to live, then you need to get the email address of that person and have a report run on their criminal background check and their financial stability, because they're an adult living in your house. And now whether they're paying rent or not is another question, but anyway, so you need to consider doing that as an absolute 100% must do. I wouldn't say do any other method of checking out your tenants, because just asking them questions is not enough. They don't have to tell you the truth. There's no law of physics that forces them to tell you the truth. But the credit agencies make it their business to know the truth and to get all the records, and so that's the only way to go. The only way to go. And that's how you find if somebody is qualified. And of course, they need to tour the house, but even more than that, you need to be comfortable with communicating with them. If you communicate and you have some kind of issues with them and you don't feel comfortable, any disagreements before signing a lease, any kind of unfriendly or uncomfortable negotiations or whatever, don't go through with it, because these are people that you're going to have to deal with probably at least a year, maybe as more than once a month, because they're probably paying you monthly rent, and then all sorts of issues, questions, and repairs and maintenance items come up with a house or apartment that you're going to be handling as an owner. And if you have a property manager, that's fine, but you have to have a very good property manager, maybe one that works for you. So if you're an employer or you have a business, maybe one of your employees can take care of the property, or you can hire a professional real estate agent who's also a property manager. But then you need to verify that they're doing a good job, because many property managers are not really the best, and they don't have the interest of being the best property manager. If they're a real estate agent, they would rather you sell your house through them, and then they're going to make much more money that way. So it may not be a good idea to have a property manager that's a real estate agent, unfortunately. So you might need some other kind of professional, and they have to be professional, because you could run into all sorts of trouble with real estate. And as I said, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice, but you need to do it right, professionally, well. Most people own just one or two properties, which many times they inherit. It's not uncommon, and I'm certainly in that situation as well. And you might want, if you're not a people person, and if you have conflict in your life, like if you get into arguments and verbal disagreements, if you've been sued, you don't handle things perfectly well, expect the same thing with your rental property, that these people could very well be unhappy. Say you have maybe you've been through several marriages and divorces, and you have relationship issues, troubles, arguments, whatever. Expect the same thing, that your tenants also will not be happy at times with you, and may cause you terrible trouble, lawsuits, bankruptcy, who knows what. So you might not, in that case, I would say don't even consider owning rental property. You have to be a people person that almost always gets along. That's my opinion. Unless you have a corporate structure that protects you 100%, because you can't stand to lose everything. So anyway, thank you very much for listening. Hope that helps you consider what kind of tenants you need and how to find good ones that are approved, and also, should you be a landlord, should you be renting property at all. Okay, take care now. Thanks.